Rihanna and Jay Z. This is the Doghouse channel, and this week on Music Mondays, we are getting into two hip-hop legends. We are super excited to be talking about them. We actually learned in the last week that they first converged and started working together in 2005. In this episode, we're going to be getting into them and their music and asking each other a few questions about it, so we're super excited.
Let's get into it. So Emma, question for you. We both love these artists. What was the very first Jay Z or Rihanna song you heard for the very first time?
That's a really good opener. So I couldn't tell you the first Jay Z song I heard.
That's fair enough.
A little off my radar. I was just a little young.
Before your time. Definitely.
But for sure, the first Rihanna song I heard was Umbrella.
Umbrella. Oh my goodness. That was probably one of my favorite Rihanna songs. What's the story with that?
Well, I don't remember because I was too young, but I've been told that when I was in the car and that song would come on the radio, yeah, I would be encouraged to sing along to it, and I had no problem with that.
And that is coming from me. I'm the one who told her that. I remember me and the family would be in the car. Umbrella came on. Emma's in the back seat. Definitely under 10 years old, singing her heart out. Just a great memory associated with that song.
Super fun. Do you remember the first Jay Z or Rihanna song you ever heard?
So, first Rihanna song right off the bat, Disturbia.
Oh, classic.
That is such a fun song. It was the perfect storm for me. Now, Jay Z, though, the first Jay Z song I ever heard, I'll never forget. It was Empire State of Mind.
Also a classic. Really love that song.
Such a classic. I was in our older sister Kirsten's room when I was like 11. She had a boombox. I did not have a boombox.
She always had the stereos.
Shout out if you remember boomboxes and the old iPod docks. Anyway, I hit shuffle on her pink iPod Nano, and that's the song that came on, Empire State of Mind. And I've been a fan ever since.
Love that.
Let's get into that next question.
Okay. What initially made these artists' music stand out to you?
So that's a great question. What made their music stand out to me initially? Let me speak on Jay Z here.
Oh, for sure.
So I got into hip-hop music when I was about 11 years old. And most of the hip-hop I would hear was the current day modern hip-hop. And then I heard a Jay Z song, and it didn't quite match. And I obviously I was 11 and I couldn't tell you why, but like literally there was something about it that I could just connect with on a deeper level that none of the more modern stuff I was listening to could do for me at the time. My theory is because of that rich history and how prominent Jay Z had been for so long in hip hop.
That's a really good answer. And
Thank
honestly,
you.
I feel like that's kind of what makes this music also
100%.
really, really good and stand out to me is how rich it is and how bold these artists are. Not that Rihanna was necessarily super bold in the beginning, but she still had that real richness to her music. What made her music stand out to me initially was just her presence in the song.
Oh,
and
that's a good point.
How you could just tell she loved singing every song that she made. And that's a comment I made about other artists, but you can just really tell how genuine Rihanna is. She knows she's making good music.
Genuine is a super good word to describe it. And like you said, that is common for other artists, but to us, that's what makes a great artist versus a good artist.
100%.
And in the clips we showed earlier, it's very, very apparent Jay Z saw that uniqueness, saw that genuinity early on in Rihanna. So
they both do this with their music, which is 100%. Why I think they came together in the first place, and it's so awesome that they got to work together.
That is awesome. Let's move on to this next question because I think we're leading right into it.
So next question is, what makes you relate to Jay Z or Rihanna's music?
Ooh, very good question. So again, I'll probably speak on Jay Z here.
Mm-hmm.
I love Rihanna's music. In terms of personal relatability, there's not as much as you might imagine that I could relate to. But that's not even to say I don't feel those emotions and relate to that. That's for Rihanna. But with Jay Z, kind of the attitude he has, how he comes across.
I love that about Jay Z.
Dude, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. He will not apologize one bit. He will not hold back one bit, and he'll carry that energy onto every single track, every single song. I think that's so huge. What about you? What would you say?
I would honestly say the same thing about Jay Z, kind of his personality. Really love that in a music artist. And for Rihanna's music, it's honestly how open she is about the different parts of herself, just because as a woman,
you know what, she is
creator,
super open in her lyrics.
Yeah.
Vulnerable.
It's very refreshing to hear, like, that she embraces the more masculine parts of herself and feminine. And I relate to that a lot.
That's so apparent in not only her music, but her like personal style choices, and how she carries herself, how she presents herself. I can absolutely see how you would love that and connect with it. That's huge. So
the next question is, what specific aspects of their music styles stand out to you?
Okay, that is a very interesting question. Would you mind taking this one first?
Oh, absolutely. So I will start out with Jay Z for this one.
Please do.
I really love how he makes hip-hop music, but like you were saying, it's not like regular hip-hop music. He throws a lot of crazy stuff in there.
That's a great way to put it.
And it really just makes you like sit back and listen when you hear one of his songs. You kind of have no choice but to sit back, listen to what he's got to say, listen to the track. So I really like that.
Okay, I'm gonna agree with you real quick and borrow your point, because hip-hop versus modern hip-hop versus Jay Z, when it comes to that sound, it's still hip-hop. He'll include modern elements, but it'll never not be staying true to Jay Z as an artist, to his style, and it's hard to put into words. It truly is.
Yeah. And with Rihanna's music, I feel like it's kind of the same thing. And a lot of it has to do with the intention that they put behind their music.
That's
I think
great word to use to describe. Yeah, kind of like in a one word, what they're doing, essentially.
Yeah, super intentional, every single aspect of their songs, which is so cool. And speaking of their songs, let's get into our favorite songs from these artists.
Let's definitely get into that. So we are going to list off some of our favorite songs from each of these artists, Jay Z and Rihanna, just our personal picks across their whole music libraries. So let's jump in.
I will start with my list. This is both of our lists, but I'm just going to read Rihanna's songs.
Please do.
First off, one of my favorites, Love on the Brain from Anti.
Such a good song.
Very good.
Everyone loves that song.
Shut Up and Drive, another classic.
Another one everyone loves.
Yeah, I Said It, also from Anti. Very good.
Anti is just one of those albums. Every Rihanna album is like so amazing, but this one specifically.
And you all know and love Diamonds, but I'm gonna bring that one up. And Pour It Up, and Be Better Have My Money.
Be Better Have My Money goes hard.
It goes so hard. I just love that song so much. And then her most recent single that she won a Grammy for, Lift Me Up.
Congratulations to Rihanna.
Congratulations, Rihanna.
Absolutely.
You more than deserve it. This song was incredible.
Almost 20 years later in her music career. That's incredible.
And then do you want to jump into Jay Z's?
I do. Again, this is a list we both chose together, but we'll just go ahead and jump in because Jay Z is just one of those artists who's gonna have almost every single album with like 5 or more. We
had a very hard time narrowing this down.
So this is our personal list. right off the bat, Hard Knock Life Ghetto Anthem. That one is
just classic.
One of the most associated songs of Jay Z's. It's so classic. Heart of the City. So rich, so fun. So much soul in that song.
So much soul. Really love that song.
We got Encore, a great one. And then this next one's huge, 99 Problems.
This is
such a good one.
Such a good one. We found a really cool YouTube video of the making of this song, and it really was just inspiring to us because we love this song so much.
Super inspiring, and it's very indicative of just how Jay Z is as an artist and why he's been at the top for so long. Same thing with Rihanna, but back to the list. Empire State of Mind, what I mentioned earlier, one of the best Jay Z songs of all time.
Very, very good.
Moving on to some of the more modern stuff. Otis.
The whole Watch the Throne album, I will endorse real quick because it's so good.
I'm going to secondly endorse the entire Watch the Throne album. We had to narrow it down, and it kind of hurt us. It pained us to narrow it down. Otis and then Gotta Have It. Those are our two picks for that album.
And then from Magna Carta, which is one of my personal favorites, we got Tom Ford.
Tom Ford. That song has aged so beautifully.
So beautifully.
It's, in my opinion, it's like way bigger today than it was when it came out. And like, again, that speaks to the nature of like Jay Z as an artist and why he's stayed in the game so long.
Why both of these artists have.
Honestly.
And speaking of both of these artists, we have 3 songs that they've both done together that we really, really like.
Let's bring those up.
First one I already mentioned, Umbrella. And then another one that's really, really good if you haven't heard it, Run This Town.
Oh, that's so good. That's
such a good song.
A good one.
And then Talk That Talk.
Talk That Talk. And to us, both of these artists, again, why we wanted to speak about them together, they are legends in hip hop and in music and have left such a legacy in our opinion.
We had so much fun talking about them.
So much fun.
And hopefully you learned something or saw something, got some insight that you didn't get before. But thank you guys so much for tuning into this week of Music Mondays.
Thank you guys, truly.
Follow us on our socials if you haven't, and we will see you all next week.
Peace.